season 1 of Geeks and Gamers podcast. I'm hosting today, that's Steph, because we got fed up of Paul's voice.
That's true.
And and the first topic we're going to talk about, warning, spoilers, I repeat, spoilers, is Age of Ultron. And we'll start off with Eleanor.
To be honest, I'm left feeling a little disappointed at this film. I feel that it was hyped up a lot in Facebook, in other places. I mean, we all talked about it here amongst ourselves, and I was left disappointed. I don't know if it was because I was tired when I went into the cinema, but I felt that I was falling asleep through the middle of the film especially. I felt the film itself had a start and it had an end. I don't really know what the hell was going on in the middle. You know, and I was disappointed that there wasn't more character building on the new characters that we've seen. I'm especially disappointed that they've removed the possibility of this in future films with the death of Quicksilver. I mean, we've been talking a bit, thinking, is he really dead? I don't know if they had a funeral, but if he is really dead, I think that was a bad move because I wanted to know more. I thought he was a really, really interesting character. I mean, aside from the other bits, they put in jokes that I thought were funny, but they didn't really. It's like Marvel are relying too much on the fact that they already have gained so much money from their films that they don't need to try as hard anymore, and I feel like it's getting to lazy filmmaking. But I didn't dislike it completely. I mean, I still enjoyed watching the superheroes do their thing, but it just wasn't as good as other films for me. Ultron was an amazing bad guy, though. That's one thing I'll give it. Ultron was, he really did the bad guy thing really well, and then the Vision, oh, that was superb. So that was a good point.
Anybody got any contesting against that?
Well, I quite liked the film. Like, I couldn't really put anything down. Maybe the plot was a bit rushed, but I mean, I was gripped to my seat. I remember in the cinema, I had to go to the toilet, and I just sat there and suffered through because I mean, I really enjoyed it. You know, it was one of those films I was actually gripped to, and it wasn't as good as the previous Avenger film, but I mean, I was laughing at Iron Man's jokes. I think the subplot line with Hulk and Black Widow's love plot, I don't think that really fitted in with the film at all.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, to me it's like not really fitted, and the fact, you know, Quicksilver, like interesting character, just killed off. I mean, I was a bit gutted about that because yeah, he is one of the interesting characters, and he reminds me of the Flash.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's essentially the same character in the opposite universe.
Well, one's blue and one's yellow, but
Red.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, the yellow one's the reverse
confused.
Flash.
I was thinking about reverse Flash then. You know, but you know, red suit. I can get away with that.
No, you can't.
I
That
still
issue
can.
failed. You need to be banned from watching any more Flash.
I can't pull myself away from Flash.
You're an
But no,
addict.
Oh, I know, but no, I think the film was good. It was fast paced, which is quite good because I've fed up with films which just drag and drag and drag. And I think, you know, the actors played well to do their parts. Ultron was such a badass, and I like the fact that it was meant to be like Tony Stark's ego.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was the fact
I
that,
found that really funny.
like, I thought it was a really good bad guy, but my expectation of him was a case of it was all kind of serious continuously all the time, but his quips that he had throughout the film matched the tone. It was it was a comic book film. It was like, I've seen discussions and things like that on Winter Soldier. That was an espionage film. There was Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a heist film. But Age of Ultron, there wasn't anything to it apart from you had superheroes, you had a villain, and the superheroes had to defeat the villain, and they got messed about with. It was a comic book.
Well,
I was
didn't you
gonna
say? Sorry.
I was just about Hawkeye.
Perfect popcorn
Yet
flick.
again with Hawkeye. Why does he always get injured? Like Avengers film, all right, he gets controlled, and then it's like this one. Yeah, he gets, shot or something in the first scene or something?
Yeah.
Well,
And
I think
that
that-
was
a wink
fail.
back to the film, because he actually said when Scarlet Witch went to control his mind, again, spoiler, was a case of, not this time, I've already been through that, Don't need to go through it again.
Oh no, it was quite funny.
I think the fact that Hawkeye keeps getting controlled and hurt, that's just them trying to show a more human side to the team, because in real life we all get battered and hurt, and it's not like the movies where everything's perfect. So I think it was a good move, but I don't know. I don't know. That might just be me.
I'm just saying they're like portraying Hawkeye's character as weak, considering like no one else gets badly injured. And
I know, I was feeling kind of like, oh, don't make him weak. He's got his benefits. I mean, who else can shoot bow and arrow like that?
I thought it's so nice. He had like a fat arrow.
Yeah, different universe here.
Yeah, no, but I was like, it's all sweet, like, because it's like little subplot with his family.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they wasn't expecting that.
That was nice.
I think that went a bit too slow though.
Yeah.
Oh, that was slow.
The thing was, there was really, really fast paced points and there was really slow points, and I think the way they set up the pace of the film disconnected it slightly. There was.
Well, I think it was slow because it was like the Avengers splitting up. So I think putting it slow was meant to make you feel the emotion of like emptiness slightly.
Do you not think
Building into Civil War?
Yeah, but do you not think, based on that, do you not think that they're putting a bit too much emphasis on trying to set up too many other films rather than concentrating on making this film really good? I mean, obviously, I know they have to put little seeds there for the next films but I mean, what happened in the early Marvel films when the pointers to the next film were just the end?
Yeah, it's literally just the end credits. That's all you got.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need, in my opinion. I think they should concentrate more on the film at hand, rather than trying to tie it back to other films or put more seeds for future films. Because it's starting to get a little bit, although I like it and I like picking up, but I see it as Easter eggs more than the need to set up the next film.
Oh, there was another. Just talking about that. Did anybody spot the Star Wars Easter egg in Age of Ultron?
Star Wars one, no. What was that?
Right, so there's in every Phase 2 film for Marvel, there is an Easter egg relating to Luke Skywalker losing his arm. And like in Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot lost his arm. And
what do you mean by Phase 2?
So Phase 2, your Phase 1 films were Iron Man, Captain America: First Avenger, Thor, leading up to the Avengers. After the event, it was all your sort of Marvel films after the Avengers. So you've got Captain America: Winter Soldier. He had the Winter Soldier had a metal arm. You had
Groot losing his arm, like you said.
Groot losing his arm. Then
Andy Serkis losing his arm.
Andy Serkis losing his arm, and but that builds on to him becoming the Claw.
Oh right, okay.
So it's good.
That's building into Black Panther, isn't it?
Possibly, I don't know. There's not been much plot lines, but we can.
But see, this is what I mean again. Like, that's only a minor plot point, but why do they need to keep putting extra bits in all the time to set up other things?
Oh no, that's literally it's a one-shot Easter egg, and if you don't notice and don't know the background to it, you won't get the overall reference. It's just for the sort of hardcore fans to kind of go, haha, look, we're doing it again.
What do you think of the way they set up for Ragnarok and Infinity War?
The whole Thor thing seemed to be a mess. There wasn't much overall control, but I'm very conscious that Scott's very quiet. I want his opinions.
Scott is absorbing information and preparing his arguments.
Okay, right. I'll continue.
Do you need a little more time then?
Yes.
So Thor's point, he got that kind of oddly put nightmare. He then ended up going to a cave section that was in a bit of water, and then he was naked in the water,
really
and it was
odd.
like, what was that?
That whole scene, that was odd to me.
Yeah,
like,
that scene was aimed at women.
Like nothing to do with the actual plot line of.
Yeah, that annoyed me as well. That was another thing that annoyed me and made me just be like, concentrate on this one film instead of.
It's like
going
jumping
off
plots.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that annoyed me most of the film, it was based on my favourite character, the Hulk. It was a case of you had the Banner and the Hulk, but there was no conflict between the two characters. You had the bit where sort of Bruce was kind of going, "Oh no, I've been the Hulk again, and I've destroyed stuff," but there was
That's mopey.
Yeah, there was no essential anger or like battle
like you
between
got in
the two.
The first Avengers.
Well, not even that. It was a case because within the first Avengers, Bruce had a control of the Hulk. He went, "Oh, I
He
control it
lost it
because
on the carrier.
I'm always angry," and turns. So it was a case that was that one thing because he got hurt more than he got angry. But within this second film, it seemed to be a case of like, yes, they've got this lullaby that happens in the relationship that Black Widow and the Hulk have, and then Black Widow and Bruce Banner have, and Karen, Scott's wife, put up a brilliant point that it could be sort of a love triangle rather than just a couple.
Oh no.
But the thing is, the Hulk doesn't want to become Banner, and Banner doesn't want to become Hulk. But you never really seen that frustration on the Hulk's side. And then
Well,
the
he
very
did
last
say it
season with the
once in the movie, he went like, "Oh yeah, don't talk about puny Banner." Was that meant as a joke from Stark, or was
that was a case that they were trying to build it up to have that anger, but that was disconnected because the Scarlet Witch had affected Hulk from this. This whole thing was full of spoilers here.
But you said that at the beginning, so it's fine. Just
Yes.
spoiler alert.
Carry on.
So the thing is, you've got the Hulk. When they started doing these sort of lullaby points, it would have been, you just had that, oh, and grunting. There was never, you've not seen the Hulk doing, no, I'm not becoming Banner, and fighting it, which is what is from the comics. It's in the cartoons. You've got all that, but you're not getting. And to be fair, I'd even take it back to the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Had
If
that.
I'm telling the truth, I prefer I actually prefer Norton to Ruffalo as the Hulk, because I thought he's a better actor for one, and I think he had a better the Hulk had a better storyline.
No, I'll disagree with you on the point of Ed Norton over Ruffalo. I really like Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, because they kind of, Bruce Banner's the scientist. It should always have been the scientist, whereas when Ed Norton done Bruce Banner, it was more, he was the running man. It didn't seem to be the scientist.
Yeah, but that was the point of the film. He was on the run. Now I agree with you that Ruffalo is better as the part of the scientific Banner, but that's not what the Incredible Hulk needed. It was like he was on the run from the government and he didn't want to turn, and he was having inner conflicts, like you said.
Okay.
No, I think he's a good actor with a poor script. Like, I would like to see more of the, conflict between Hulk and the scientist. Can't remember his name.
Bruce Banner.
What I found with, especially including like the Black Widow romance, the Hulk and Banner, to me, you're never gonna see that conflict what Banner and Hulk have.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen. And like with this lullaby, I was like, this is a bit crap. Oh, you can calm the Hulk down. What I like about the Hulk is he's out of control.
Yeah.
He's like between superhero, supervillain sort of thing, and I quite like that.
Yeah.
And we've got this lullaby to calm him down. I'm like, oh, that's a bit naff.
The good thing though is with how they ended the Hulk's kind of storyline, because Hulk's not been confirmed for Civil War, is that he's been sent away. I didn't like how he went away by himself because he was still the Hulk in the Quinjet.
Yeah.
And he
He
pushed
just
a
flew
button
off.
on the console. And at the state of the Hulk, he would have destroyed that console. It was not the character of the Hulk, but there is that point of Civil War. So within the graphic novel, Hulk's not in it.
Isn't he off on Planet Hulk at that point?
Yes, he's supposed to be sent away by Mr. Fantastic, Captain America, and things like that. He's sent off to Planet Hulk.
As a film, I enjoyed being able to sit down and switch my mind off and not pay much attention to it for about 2.5 hours, or however long it was. It wasn't anywhere near as good as the last storyline. It certainly had its flaws. The pacing was off in so many areas. I particularly disliked the way that Black Widow was portrayed in the film. I didn't think it stood up to the character that had been built up in Avengers. She was used as almost a foil in Winter Soldier with Captain America, and I very much thought they'd done the same thing again with Hulk. Although it had been building in the previous film, I still felt it kind of came out of left field a little bit. I also really disliked, and I'm aware there's been a rather large feminist backlash, which I'm not going to get into the politics of. Perhaps we can
Oh,
invite
God.
my wife onto this one week and she can dissect it a bit more detail, but I didn't like the scene at all with this sudden impact of barrenness, as if it somehow reduced Black Widow as a character.
Yeah.
This is one
Yeah.
kick-ass
I
woman,
remember that.
and
Yeah.
she is an excellent superhero. She is arguably one of the most interesting characters in the Avengers for me, and I hated the entire narrative that came out of that.
I didn't understand what the point of that was because it didn't go anywhere else in the film. With them bringing that point in, I thought, oh, they must be about to say something at the end. They must be about to do something later on. And nothing happened. And I thought, what on earth was the point in that bit of the film?
I would certainly give credit to James Spader. I thought James Spader as Ultron was phenomenal. I'm quite a big fan of his portrayal of Remington in Blacklist. I think he's fantastic, and it was really quite exciting to see him playing such a menacing character. I disagree with Eleanor slightly that there was no clear storyline there. I think the storyline was quite nice. It wasn't always explicitly pulled out as well as it could have been, but this sort of trying to paint the Avengers in a bad light and trying to extract this concept of humanity versus the inner conflict that these guys have trying to maintain their position. I thought the storyline was there, but not always dealt with as well as it could have been.
Scott, based on that point, sorry to interrupt you, there was the point where Scarlet Witch is doing the sort of nightmare scenarios. Now you can tell that sort of Thor's was and things. What was Captain America's all about? Or what did you take from that? Because it just seemed to be like Scarlet Witch with the whole sort of fragmenting through the different areas could have really properly done a sort of horror-esque imprint.
Yeah.
But
for me, I mean, Captain America's very existence is built up on the premise that he is a war hero. His existence is still very much mentally in World War II, and yeah, that's a good point, Dan. He is very much a man out of time. If you take away the fact that he's no longer at war or at conflict with something, you take away a lot of his character, and so that for him takes away a lot of his meaning.
I understand his nightmare now. Thanks for explaining that to me, because I just did not get it. But that was parties in the celebration of the end of the war, wasn't it? His nightmare.
Yeah. It kind of removes his place in the world, and suddenly he has no meaning. If he's not part of the Avengers, if he's not part of something that's standing up to a conflict, he has no character, and that's his internal fear. That's just an interpretation, of course, though people will tell me I'm talking utter
Do you
nonsense.
think we're going to see more of that in Civil War due to the fragmentation of the Avengers? Do you think it could affect Captain America?
I would hope so. I mean, I've just recently finished reading Civil War, and as a comic, I thought it was particularly excellent. I quite like the fact that they build up the conflict in the two Avengers films. It's quite clear they've been leading up to Civil War, I think, because they've always had that sort of nagging conflict between Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it leads perfectly into Civil War, and I am really looking forward to it. I know we're going to discuss it later, but I think it's going to be an excellent addition, and I agree with what Steph said. Actually, shock horror.
God.
I think they have been kind of resting on their laurels a little bit. In fact, was that you or Eleanor? I think it was Eleanor actually.
Eleanor said
That was Eleanor.
Yeah, I think they have maybe been resting on their laurels a little bit and thinking they can create anything, but I think Civil War is a perfect opportunity to really strike at some of the relationships.
Right, so we're going on to topic number 2, which is Civil War.
Yeah, I've always kind of wondered. I mean, I don't follow the kind of movie news to the letter as perhaps I should. So the fact that they were doing Civil War is a relatively new reveal to me, if you will. I only discovered it in the past couple of weeks, so I am particularly excited that they're going to do it. I think the continuation of the goody versus the baddie that Avengers has set up over the past 2 films. I think the internal conflict and the internal grating needs to be explored a bit more, and Civil War is perfect for doing that.
Absolutely.
I'm quite excited by some of the casting news, although I have to say I'm not looking forward to the Ant-Man film. I'm aware he's a critical part of the narrative, but it just doesn't do anything for me. But I'm quite excited by the fact that they're introducing Martin Freeman. I love Martin Freeman. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Who do you think he'll go as?
He's going to be Everett Ross.
Everett Ross, I think, is the rumour at the moment.
No, someone else is pegged for Everett Ross. Hang on.
He could also. There's also
It's-
rumors he could be playing the government liaison for the Avengers.
William Hurt is going to be as General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Martin Freeman hasn't been confirmed as what character he'll be.
Okay.
Because it needs to be basically the reason why that is they're bringing back the same actor, like what Marvel tends to do within their film genre. They're bringing back the actual General Ross in the Incredible Hulk into this film. So the film that was back 5 years ago, 2010, I think Dan said, with the sort of the second introduction of the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, as we talked about earlier. So they're keeping the continuity there.
Where do you think he's been?
No idea. That will possibly be a 2-minute explanation that they'll do. That he's still been hunting the Hulk or something like that. Because he might actually explain why Black Widow found him in the cabin where she did in the first Avengers film. Or
Yeah, but if he's been hunting the Avengers, why the hell didn't he come to New York or to Sokovia in Age of Ultron? That doesn't make sense.
Because he's siding with Hydra.
Oh.
that would be a good plot
But
point.
that still doesn't make sense though. Why wouldn't he be there?
Well, remember, it's a movie. You can only have so many casts and pull them in. Comic books are fantastic because you can draw whoever you want. Actors and casting and legal rights and things like that is a lot more difficult to put everybody in the one place.
On that point, what characters are you looking forward to seeing again? And what
Bucky.
Bucky, okay. Because I've just been looking at the character list, and obviously we've said that Martin Freeman is going to be in it as an unknown, but who's going to play Spider-Man? That's what I'm
I
interested
heard
to
it's going to
find
be
out.
Asa Butterfield.
Who's he?
He was in Ender's Game. He's the if you've seen
Oh,
that.
right, yeah.
Right, okay.
The main kid that's in that.
Yeah.
One character I'm particularly not looking forward to seeing is it Agent 13,
Yes,
who's
Shannon
played by
Carter.
Emily
Yeah.
Emily Van Camp.
Yeah.
My idea of that woman, I'm sure she's a brilliant actress. I just can't get past Revenge right now, and it's really irritating me. And I'm so glad that I just found out it's got cancelled because I can't take it anymore. So I'm really
Guess who I'm looking forward to seeing?
Go on then.
Who's that?
You have one guess.
Tony Stark.
Yep.
Is it because he's hot? Reference
He's
to
hot.
one of the previous podcasts. If
He's
you've not heard them, go
arrogant.
list them.
He's hot. He's arrogant. He's got a massive ego.
I'm
Like me.
looking forward to Paul Rudd.
That means you're in love with Ultron as well.
He could be a metal babe.
Sorry, Eleanor, you said who you're interested in seeing?
Paul Rudd, of course.
Oh,
Paul
yes.
Rudd is
Ant-Man.
the most perfect actor so far, except for Captain America.
So,
Did you not see Role Models?
I love that film.
Oh,
so guys, based on
Have you seen Anchorman?
No.
based on Eleanor's point of Ant-Man, now Scott, you'll probably be getting this reference, but anybody that's read the graphic novel, one of the characters that's a pivotal character within the film is Giant Man. Do you think?
Who is the same thing as Ant-Man?
Yes. Although it's played by within the comics, Giant Man is actually Hank Pym rather than Scott Lang. If I'm from the ones that I've read anyway.
yeah, you're right.
But same with Yellow Jacket, even though within the
Yellow
film,
Jacket's evil.
Yellow Jacket was his kind of dark side that he went through as Hank Pym, but within the film it's
Yeah.
going to be Scott Lang and someone else playing Yellow Jacket.
I'll Google it. Give me a minute.
But so it would be good to see Scott Lang coming in as a possibility of being Giant Man off the back of, well, you can shrink yourself, can you grow yourself? With the Him particles.
Well, I thought it was the reason he did that was because he had some kind of confidence issues when within the Avengers. He felt he wasn't as strong as the others,
Yeah, but that was back to Hank Pym rather than Scott Lang.
which is why they should have done Hank Pym instead of Scott Lang.
No, I think they're doing it to try and do it as a sort of thief-based film. Like as I'd said earlier, it seems to be they're going genre specific for certain films.
You know, this whole Giant Man Ant-Man thing is making me think of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Eat
yeah.
me, drink me.
Coincidentally, they're making a sequel to that as well.
Also,
care.
I was in my free comics from Free Comic Book Day. There seems to be a Wonderland graphic novel that looks really interesting. Just if you're wanting to pick up on that at some point.
Yeah, it looks quite kind of creepy as well.
Is
Yeah.
it based on American McGee's Ant-Man? No, not Ant-Man. Alice series, the game series.
No idea. But
Okay.
for sort of favourite character that we're looking forward to, I'm just taking a look at actually at the list. So we've got things like Black Panther's coming in. We've got
Oh, by the way, the person who's playing Yellow Jacket is called Corey Stahl.
okay. We've got Cross. In fact, I'm actually looking forward to seeing Crossbones. We actually seen him in Winter Soldier.
Who?
Would
Crossbones.
Fantastic Four make an appearance?
No.
In Civil War?
No.
No,
They're
no,
owned by
no,
Fox.
they're in Fox.
Oh. That's a
So
shame.
we've got the character was Brock Rumlow. You might have remembered
Oh
him.
yeah,
in-
Romano. Now I remember.
He's Brock. He's supposed to be Crossbones. And if he goes for the full get-up where he's got the sort of skeleton mask and he's dressed in the white, that should be really interesting.
That sounds like Black Mask from the Batman series.
Again, DC. You're talking about there the DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it sounds like it.
If you look at
There's
it,
so many
DC
crossovers
versus
between DC
yeah.
and Marvel.
You've got your speed character, you've got your characters that can fly, your characters in their armoured suits. So Atom versus Iron Man. I know Atom actually
Yeah.
takes on aspects of Ant-Man as well, and
And then you
Yeah.
got Arrow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Arrow's better.
Flash versus
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. And
And I'd nearly go to say Captain America versus Superman just because of the
No.
whole, perfect thing. I don't know it.
no, you would be more looking at Superman and the Vision,
Oh yeah, I can see that as well.
like the purity of what the Vision is and who the Vision is.
Who
You've
would
the
match Hulk?
Hulk within DC.
DC, yeah.
Oh, I got it. Solomon Grundy.
I'm thinking Grodd, whatever his name is.
The little grog.
You've kind of got the two, but you don't have that sort of the weak side of their personalities. Because Grodd's got the
Clayface.
telepathy, whereas in Solomon Grundy, he dies and comes back on
He's
Monday.
an idiot. I know. Clayface.
Well, for
Yes?
me, I'm particularly looking forward to seeing Daniel Brühl playing Baron Zemo. I think that's
yes.
something that's going to be particularly worth looking at. Daniel Brühl's a great actor.
Yeah, it was brilliant in Glorious Bastards as well.
Yep, exactly.
I need to finish watching Inglourious Basterds. I only got like
What do you mean you need
1.5
to finish
hours
it?
in.
Bingo.
I only got 1.5 hours in and I fell asleep.
How can you leave a film halfway through? It drives me insane, even
I fell
if I
asleep.
fell
do
asleep.
I started watching it at like 3 o'clock in the morning, not realising how long it was.
I am also looking forward to seeing Elizabeth Olsen a little bit more. I know we've seen Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron,
that's
but
right.
I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more of her. Actually, I thought her character was quite compelling. So
Same with Paul Bettany as the Vision, because I don't think we've got that much interaction with him in Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah. Speaking
Yeah.
of that, what do you think of the fact that Jarvis has become Vision?
I thought it was a good changeover. It was the purity of that AI that was already there, and then the conversion, and it's a different character now.
Was anyone else sad about Jarvis dying
Yeah.
at the beginning?
Yeah, I
Oh
missed
God, I'm not
Jarvis.
the
I
only
want
one.
Jarvis 2.0.
Seeing the graphic novel, is that how the Vision is created? Is it that AI that gets made into the Vision, or is that just something they've done for this film?
I think it's just something they did for the film.
I've not read any of the original sort of Vision stuff. There was something in relation to the Man on Fire, or the first Human Torch. His sort of body gets morphed into the Vision on somehow, but it is created by Ultron.
Okay.
Ultron is created by Vision is created by Ultron, but Ultron's actually created by Hank Pym.
Yeah,
Right,
in
okay.
the comics.
With Civil War, now Scott, I know you know what I'm talking about here, but it's the part of the plot point that's going to be in Civil War is that creates this rift is there's a sort of catastrophic event that happens. Now within the graphic novel, again spoiler here, there's essentially one of the characters explodes, nuclear style explosion next to a school, killing hundreds of children and the surrounding area. What do you think they'll bring to the film if they'll take that, or do you think they might go for something a bit softer?
Softer.
I'd say softer. That's very controversial.
They need to appeal to a younger audience as well as the adults, so I think they'll go softer.
It's not just that, with everything going on, like American shootings.
School shootings and all that.
That's
I
true
think
as
they're
well.
gonna soften it.
Bah. So
they don't really kill kids in films.
So what do you think they'll go with then?
I'd say it's gonna be like an attack, bad guys versus good guys. Maybe them against Hydra, where maybe a section of a city gets leveled along with thousands of people.
Yeah, sort of
perhaps
like
maybe the White House or something
like that.
That would be a good point. Put it onto the government aspect, because it's possibly the government that's going to demand this sort of registration act.
I will be disappointed if they don't go the whole hog and try and... I mean, it doesn't really matter what you're blowing up. If you blow up the White House with some kind of nuclear detonation, you can automatically assume any schools in the vicinity are going to... I guess it goes between the explicit versus suggested, but...
So it would be good to have the suggested, but do you not think the mother of one of the children that did go should be a pivotal point in Tony's change?
That is a good point, actually. That's a good point. So maybe they might bring it across as, rather than a school getting destroyed, maybe just a child who happened to be in the middle of the
I think
chaos.
In order to pull the audience completely into that story point, they need to have that emotional connection.
Yeah.
What happens if it's the kid from Iron Man 3?
Oh, that would be really good.
Yeah.
Well, it would be
for a military. A kind of military angle, whereby perhaps it happens near, as I say, a government building, a military base or something, and it could be the mother of a soldier if they want to really soften it down a bit.
Yeah,
not that's soft
work.
in any way, shape, or form.
No, I know.
But it's taking the child aspect away from it, but it's still keeping that emotional connection.
Well, if I mean, look at what, I know this is going to be a spoiler for people in The Walking Dead, right? But look at what they did with the graphic novels of The Walking Dead and the TV series with the birth of Judith and the death of Judith.
Well, yeah, you've got a very, very graphical death shot on one page that almost floored me when I was reading that.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see it, they suggested that she died, and then...
And people were still going mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just a suggestion. There was not even a child in the shot.
Yeah, it was just an empty car seat.
Do you think they maybe did that to gauge the reaction of viewers and then brought her back again anyway?
Yeah.
But then if you take it back to the first graphic novel of that as well, if you'd put in Shane getting shot by Carl at the very first season, you would have lost a ton of viewers. Hence why they didn't do it until halfway through or at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Well, it's
and he was a zombie.
Carl's meant to be more badass in the graphic novels, and I think he's softened down on the Walking Dead TV series to the fact he is a kid.
So bringing it back to Civil War then, I think they might go the soft route completely and avoid any sort of
just have the sort of suggestion of...
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It depends, I guess, because although comic books, etc., the genre is entirely friendly to a child-based audience, I know we discussed this as a possible topic, but you think of something like Daredevil. It's a dark portrayal of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable letting Megan read any of those graphic novels just now until we investigate it further.
I guess maybe like The Punisher is another example. That's a particularly violent portrayal, but I mean...
by the way,
based on that
what do you think of Tom Hardy playing the Punisher? That's been rumoured.
Perfect.
Yeah,
definitely. Tom Hardy is the man for the role.
But based on that, now there's a film coming out next year. It's Deadpool. Deadpool is going to be, for American rating, it's an R-rated, which is a 17+. Whether or not they put it through as an 18 for us, it's possibly going to get pulled back to a 15. But they're keeping it in line. Now it's a lower budget. It's Ryan Reynolds wants to bring a true character portrayal to this though, and
I want the whole fourth wall breaking, no censorship, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it could get banned from the UK.
But think about Kick-Ass though, for example. What the Americans portrays, for example, in our film doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an 18. Kick-Ass 2 was particularly violent, but it was only a 15 here in the UK.
Yeah. And then that's what I was saying. So it's a case of to be fair, it'll be one of the eldest rated superhero or anti-superhero films that will come out. But then I suppose we don't know what they're doing with the Suicide Squad.
Hmm.
No, look at the Batman series. They were all 15s, weren't they?
Well,
Or was Batman
No,
Begins
not
a 12
Dark-
and then...
12.
What?
Dark Knight is 18.
What's Arrow?
Dark
No,
Knight's
it's not. No, it's
not an 18.
It
not
is
here, it
here.
isn't.
It
Oh,
is
is
here.
it?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
What about Arrow?
Arrow's a 15,
Arrow,
I
that's
think.
15.
Yeah, because Arrow can be quite dark at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got the murder of people and Yeah.
But it's not
Well-
explicit.
No. Well, apart from
Are we
that
saying then that
sexy.
Marvel appeals more to children than DC does? Do you think?
I'd
Yeah,
say that.
I
I
think
think
Marvel's
I
more
say it's
quite
more
dark.
family
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah.
Although then you kind of turn around and go look at Daredevil. I said to Megan, now that Megan's my 8-year-old daughter, yep, we can let you watch it. We watched the first episode together, and then I couldn't let her watch it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
yeah, it
glad
gets
that we never
really
let her
dark,
watch it
yeah.
because of the bowling ball incident with the guy
Yeah.
in the head.
Oh, and
That was
when he gets
horrific.
his head smashed off in the
Yeah.
I haven't
car
watched
door.
Daredevil, so I pulled
Oh.
away.
Okay.
So I won't do any spoilers for
It
Daredevil.
wasn't major spoilers there, Steph. It was just.
It's essentially it's really dark and graphic and gritty. It is a phenomenal TV series, and I'm so glad that we've got Netflix to watch it. But it is definitely not suitable for children. So Steph, what are we discussing for topic 3?
The next games we are going to buy, and to start us off, it is Eleanor.
Okay, so the next game that I'm going to buy that is going to be mine primarily before it's Paul's is Elder Scrolls Online. It's the first time. Usually Paul pre-orders all his games like Master Chief Collection, Titanfall, and so on. But this time I've got in there with a pre-order. So Elder Scrolls Online. Really looking forward to it. Really hoping that it keeps the good bits from both Oblivion and Skyrim, and then I've never really played a game that's completely, you can play with millions of different players. Millions, is that too high? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a bit too high.
That is a bit too high, right?
For Xbox One it is, yeah.
Well, like I said, I've never played a game like that before, really. Apart from Titanfall, that was my first experience of being able to play with loads of other players. But then that's just the multiplayer.
6 other
aspect of
players.
the show. Yeah, exactly. Whereas Paul's played World of Warcraft before, and it was
Thank you
never
for geeking me out there.
Sorry. It never really appealed to me, that kind of game before, mostly because World of Warcraft's colours were just wrong. That I couldn't get past the colours, they were just wrong. So I'm hoping that Elder Scrolls Online is kind of a more, just believable. I first got into that kind of genre of game with Might and Magic 7 on the PC, and I loved it, and I'm hoping that this sparks the same amount of enthusiasm as all the previous games of the same kind of genre.
I hope I don't get bored of it too quickly. Like I did
Oh,
with
I'll be
Skyrim.
playing it first.
I know.
When's the release date?
Sometime in
June.
June, I've forgotten.
Is it? Oh, I think it's June the 9th.
Oh, I don't know.
Is-
I don't know
No,
exactly.
I think it's June the 9th because it's my brother's birthday, and I think I've got a day to play it before I have to travel to Swindon.
Oh,
So I think it's June the 9th because I've pre-ordered it as well.
Collector's edition, Steph?
There's no collector's edition with
Oh,
it.
you're safe. You're safe.
it's not the Tamriel edition.
Tamriel Unlimited.
It's about £80 in
Is it on
game.
Amazon?
It will be, yes.
I've
What,
already
that's
pre-ordered
Steph
Elder Scrolls.
pre-ordering?
I've already pre-ordered Elder Scrolls, but if there's a collector's edition, I'm going to change mine.
Whether or not it's actually a collector's edition, I think it's more you get more additional stuff inside the game. Whether or not it's a special box or anything like that, I'm not
You
sure.
get a horse, you get the Imperial race.
Oh,
you
it's
get...
not on Amazon.
Go into game, because that's where we were getting told about the different editions.
Yeah, I don't really pre-order from game. I might have to make an exception.
Get to
is
point
it-
you
But
pre-order.
you've been screwed over by that already because of Halo 5. You pre-ordering
I
it in
saved
America.
money.
Yeah, because you're paying £200 for the collector's edition Halo 5.
Dollars.
Aye, same thing.
That grade is expense.
No, I
it's
paid
at
for it.
Steph's expense.
Yeah, I gave Graded money.
He has to pay for packaging and postage.
No, I'm paying for that.
Oh, right.
He has to do the legwork, basically.
Yeah, he just has to go and pick it up. Alright, Elder Scrolls Tamriel Unlimited is £44.99. And that one's on Amazon.
There is another version of it. Hang on, I'm just going to pull it up just now. Because there's an £80 version.
I just better not
I'm
tell
pretty
the
sure it
fiance.
comes with a horse and the Imperial race.
So there's £44.99 from Game for the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited.
Yeah, that's one I found.
And then there is the second one at $89.99 from Game, Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited Imperial Edition.
I can't find it.
Imperial edition, intriguing.
So the Imperial Edition, let's see if we've got any information on. Oh, it's sold out from Game. Oh, it is a collector's edition. It's got a book. It's got a statue of.
It's sold out. No, don't tell me. I need to get hold of it. Was it Elder Scrolls
You're like a kid in a candy store.
Tamriel Unlimited? What else am I missing out?
Imperial Edition.
Imperial Edition.
Yeah, Game's actually sold out.
Game
So hurry up,
my
listeners. Go and
arse.
follow exactly what Steph's doing.
No. Don't.
Can I tell people what's in it?
No.
He just did.
Not until I pre-ordered it.
Well, we're not putting this up until a few days away, so you can pre-order it before. So you've got a 224-page illustrated guide to Tamriel,
Hurry up, website.
a premium physical map of Tamriel, a collector's steelbook packaging, and a 12-inch Molag Bal statue.
Oh, I need to order it. Why did I not know about this?
You
Screw
also
you, Amazon.
you also get exclusive digital content as well. You get to play as an Imperial. You get
Knew
a
it.
white Imperial horse. You get a mud crab vanity pet, and
Oh, right.
and also
It's like
A
World
mud
of Warcraft.
crab.
yeah.
How do we know it's sold out?
I feel like I've started something.
Yes.
Try
I
it.
wish I
Hey,
never
Steph.
knew about this. I would have been happy.
Steph, try Play 247. That's a good website.
Or
Oh
GameStop.
my god, that's £129. This is like, oh my god, why didn't I find this earlier?
Because you fail. You are, and will
I have
remain
failed
your.
this podcast.
You will remain with your nickname, Nubarella.
Please be on GameStop. Please be on GameStop. GameStop, I will love you forever if you've got it.
So, listeners, we are
Sniping
listening
little.
to. Well,
We're listening
Scott's
to-
clearly playing Titanfall, in fact. But you are listening to Steph panicking in relation to a collector's edition of a game. We will give you
Steph
more
is
updates
the
on this.
collector. If she's not Nubarella, she is the collector.
I
Yes.
spend far too much money on games. I can't
Steph.
find it anywhere.
Steph, were you in
What?
Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm glad you picked up on that there.
Have you got a duck somewhere?
Yeah, I got a Manchester United.
So yeah, we are delaying this topic just to listen to Steph panic.
Right, what's my date of birth?
Don't tell our listeners.
Why
They'll be
don't, why
scared of
don't you read out your credit card number as well?
And pin.
1, 2, 3, 4. Please be that.
While Steph panics, should we move on to who's getting...
Dan,
Yeah,
you
I'll
go ahead.
next. Okay, next month I'm getting my baby Batman Arkham Knight. Yay!
Woo!
Too much excitement in that.
Batman the Arkham series kicks ass. I've been playing them ever since Arkham Asylum came out. I love Arkham City. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Arkham Origins was okay-ish. Is probably my least favorite. And now Arkham Knight looks badass. We finally get more villains other than the Joker into the limelight. Arkham Knight, Scarecrow. I can't wait to find out who Arkham Knight is. I've got my own theory on that.
But Dan, we've always had Scarecrow.
No.
Yes, I know we had Scarecrow, but he looks menacing as hell in this one.
Although, do you know what I really enjoyed about Origins? It was the fact
What's
that you
that?
got to play as Deathstroke.
Oh yeah,
That was
I
only
remember
in the
you saying you really
challenge
liked
maps.
Still don't get. They gave you. You could play in the challenges, but they also gave your avatar, and I think it's still one of the best questions we've got. The full Deathstroke thing for your avatar on Xbox.
Yeah, well.
Where's
the fact is,
Grady?
I wanted to play. He's not online.
You're going to
No,
call
I
old
want-
Grady to get him that for you, aren't you? Continue, Dan.
As I was saying, I wanted to play as Deathstroke in the actual open world. I'm not a big fan of the challenge maps personally, but in Arkham Knight, they're giving us Harley Quinn, and yes, they have announced she has her own campaign, so I'm happy about that.
Oh,
Well, that'll be interesting.
although-
I'm interested in that.
Based on that, with Arkham City, you got Catwoman and
That was
apparently
very good.
her campaign, and it was so short.
It was still very good.
To be fair, you paid $7.99 for it, and you got very, very little content to it.
Oh, I got the collector's edition. I had it for free.
Ooh, look at you! But I only paid about £15 for the game, so.
You got it as a present.
Oh yeah,
Arkham
so
City.
it was my
Yeah.
sister that bought me that, wasn't
Yeah.
Scott.
Also, the combat system seems to have been improved. I'll just leave that on that.
And Scott, what are you looking forward to getting?
Nothing coming out immediately, I have to say. I will probably pick up Arkham Knight at some point. But in terms of next release, you're probably looking forward to either the new Metal Gear Solid game or perhaps Halo 5 Guardians, obviously.
Yes.
Um,
27th
there
of
isn't a
October.
there isn't a specific release date yet, but I am also looking forward to the new Rainbow Six Siege game. I think it looks quite intriguing. It could ultimately turn out to be total bollocks, but
Like what they've had previously.
yeah, but I don't know. With the next gen, I'm optimistic they might upgrade it a little and make it a little more in line with what Call of Duty used to be.
Well, looking at the sort of clips that they've done, was it E3 last year that they showed Rainbow Six? Or it's
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
The detail that they showed in that, and if they keep it and develop on that aspect and not just leave it like that.
There's another game I'm quite looking forward to, but
Division.
again, it does. Yeah, The Division, based on the Tom Clancy discussion. I think that looks really exciting, but there is no release date for that as far as I know yet.
That's been pushed back again.
Yeah, it keeps getting that happening to it, unfortunately.
But would you not prefer it to be pushed back and come out working and correct rather than them rush it and get a poorly developed game?
Yeah, without a doubt. I kind of wonder what's delaying it, because they've already shown us gameplay footage from E3 last year, and it was I think there's about 25 minutes worth of gameplay footage. So they do have it to quite an advanced stage. So,
But then if you look at what Halo 5 done with their beta run in
sure,
December, that they had a fully operational game, but they're still waiting until the October. Luckily, and touching every single bit of wood possible, they won't delay
This
it.
is more nail biting.
What?
Steph.
Elder Scrolls.
So everybody, we know what Steph's really looking forward to now. Is trying to
Dan,
get her.
Dan,
Does Steph even need to talk about hers?
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
can you buy me it? It's in Ireland.
Oh God, I
I'll
don't
send
know.
If you do it now, I'll send you the money now.
I don't have an account. I don't have a credit card. I can't do it.
Right, can I order it?
You should be able to order from Ireland and get them to deliver it to you.
I'm gonna try
or
now.
deliver it to Dan, or
I could
else fails.
get a courier that.
What's my GameStop password?
I don't know.
Scott.
Scott the Magnificent.
A grenade in the room.
Witcher 3, but
But not now.
Bye bye.
Someone
This
read out
task
what we
was
get
supposed
with
to be
Witcher
about
3.
Witcher 3.
I know.
Yeah, go talk about what we get with Witcher 3, considering I pre-ordered the collector's edition.
Have you right?
We get a griffin statue. We get some more an extra count. We get like 13 massive pieces of DLC. We get an extra character. We get customization for Geralt. What else do we get? Well, the main piece is the
And a
Griffin
shiny
statue
box.
anyway. Oh, and a shiny box, yes.
We're like a bunch of crows or magpies.
Yes, we are. We like the shiny discs. Okay, will I go on to my disc that I'm wanting?
Steph, are you going to talk about yours at any point, or are you just sucked into
I would
everything
talk
now?
about mine after I've done this.
Okay, fair enough. String it out, Paul, string it out.
Okay, so I'm probably the biggest kid in this group, even though I'm one of the older people in
I
the
know
group.
what yours is. I totally forgot, but now I remember.
Yes. So this is my June release game. I will be getting Arkham Knight, and I've got all the other Arkham games, but biggest kid in the room is going to be Lego Jurassic World. It looks
Yay.
fantastic. You've got the original films that are going to be in it for storyline gameplay. You've got the dinosaur Lego, which there's one point where dinosaurs try like pick up something and his arms fall off. Come on, that's hilarious. But yeah, no, it looks absolutely fantastic and it's kid friendly. You can play it with kids, but if you're an achievement hunter, it's a fantastic, easy 1,000 gamer points. Any DLC you'll get. The DLC is reasonable prices as well for Lego games in comparison to some of the stuff that we talked about last week. You're talking about £12 for the DLC when it launches. If they've got any. It was with Lego Batman 3, but Lego Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, it's got The Lost World in it, Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3, which could mean that you could end up going through to New York to try and fight dinosaurs.
That'd be good.
However, you're going to have to see Jurassic World before you play it.
Why?
No, not necessarily.
If you want to spoil the movie for
No.
yourself.
It doesn't really do too much, though. It's not like...
No, it's not storyline based games. Yeah, you can follow aspects of the story, but it's all in Lego Play, so it doesn't give you... The only Lego game that did that essentially showed you the whole movie, was
Lego movie.
the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Because you've done pretty much exactly what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when we think about other ones, Lego Indiana Jones, you could play that and
Love
not
that
have watched the films. I mean, if you've seen the films, yeah, I mean, you get what it was meaning, but you could just play the levels, and it's not really spoiling the story for you. The same with, I mean, what other ones are based
The
on
Hobbit
films?
and
Lego
Lord of
Star
the
Wars.
Rings, Harry Potter.
Star Wars.
Would you say that, well, Star Wars, I think you could play without having a clue what's going on as well.
Yep, same with Harry Potter, because it was there was aspects of the story
Not so
in
much with the walking around. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, I see your point. Yeah, it's not spoiled.
No, whereas Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I would actually say they managed to stick quite close to it.
Yeah, they
You
stick
wouldn't-
quite
yeah.
close to the story. You'd probably find it difficult to not spoil it for that. Yeah, but then, yeah, the newer games that follow movies, I think, are possibly more spoiled than the older ones.
So then Dan's correct.
Yeah, so Dan might be correct. In fact, actually, this seems like an argument that I'm going to lose now.
Scott's gone.
I got it! I've got it!
Oh, and we have Steph. She has come through the finish line, and she has got her
Elder
collector's
Scrolls
editions.
Online Collector's Edition is going to Steph's
Get
house.
in! I'm not
She's
missing out.
giddy
Thank
like a
you,
little kid on
Ireland
Christmas
GameStop.
morning. Did Santa Claus come?
Oh my god. I love you, Ireland GameStop.
Oh,
Hey.
top of the morning to you. It's the best we can do.
Does mine come with a leprechaun?
Should that praise not come to me for telling you about the whole
I
collector's
love
edition?
you, thank you.
Chico.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish off with Steph's game
Yeah.
she's looking forward to.
we will do in a minute, but so every single Lego game that has came out since Lego Batman 2, I've got a minifigure. I'm a big Lego minifigure fan, collector and fan. I have something in the region of 150 of them now.
If we ever do birthdays, you know what to get him.
Yes, quite easy. And that's also to listeners. If you want to send me minifigures, go ahead. But with this edition, we are looking at getting a sort of, it looks like a trap machine with a little chicken leg, and the trap looks like it's for a velociraptor.
Ooh.
Oh,
And it's a little velociraptor that you get as well.
oh wow.
So I will maybe pre-order that just now.
Did you get Chris Pratt with it?
No.
No,
But-
we've already got a minifigure of him from Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
Alright.
and also the Lego movie.
Oh yeah, because he does the voice of Emmett.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that was the thing. Like when Chris Pratt was getting interviewed, he was having a laugh because he's now going to be in several different franchises. So yeah, Chris Pratt's got Guardians of the Galaxy. He's in the Lego Movie. He's Jurassic
Lego
Park.
Dimensions.
Well, no, Lego Dimensions we're keeping out of that kind of. I will be probably buying it at some point, even though it's coming out of flipping £100. He probably will appear there, but I don't know if he'll voice it. Like one of the good things that we did talk about in an earlier podcast, we're back onto Lego again, but was Stephen Amell from Arrow being the voice
Oh yeah.
in the Arrow DLC pack of Lego Batman 3, which I
It
thought that
was
was a
only
really
about
nice touch.
6 lines though. He had very little to say.
It was still awesome.
It was still even Kevin Smith was in it.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
was brilliant. But we digress. So Steph, I think everybody has heard and knows exactly what you're excited for, but tell us, what are you excited for?
My Little Pony.
I said that.
I am looking forward to Witcher 3, as that's first, and that comes with, like
Mhm.
really cool stuff.
So what'd you get with that?
Dan explained it to me over my trying to order.
Oh yeah, I
Elder
remember
Scrolls.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, okay. So we're back to that point, right? Carry on.
Yeah, so mine is Witcher 3 because that's out in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And that's when I'm at Comic Con, so I can't play it. Damn it.
Ah.
And I'm now uber excited for Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, I was excited. I ordered it last year. Well, whenever pre-orders were available, but Amazon did not have the shiny collector's edition.
You and your collector's editions. How many statues do you actually own from collector's editions?
I've got a Skyrim, got Far Cry. I've got the dubstep gun from
Saints
Saints
Row
Row.
4.
Yeah.
You remember to dust all these.
Most of them are in Bristol in the attic because of when I moved.
Ah.
What else have I got? I got some
Have you got
collector's
the
edition.
you've got the you told this to me already. You have
I got the Dragon Age Inquisition stuff.
Yeah.
Got Far Cry 4 stuff.
And you've pre-ordered Halo 5's one from America as well.
Yeah. Well, everyone's got to have a hobby, and I don't really have hobbies apart from like trumpet playing and music. So like all my money goes on
and
gaming.
quizzes.
Oh yeah.
Or is it karaoke?
So cool. Oh, it was karaoke until my local pub stopped doing it. And with this lovely episode, we have a very shiny competition, which Paul will introduce. Paul.
Thank you. Right, so guys, this week we are running a bit of a competition. This video will be achievement versus fail. Are you going for a particular achievement? Have you failed really badly at that? Explain your experiences, but within this video clip you will see Eleanor going for a fantastic achievement, dropping a Titan on a unsuspecting pilot. Pulls it off with, you'll be able to see what happens. I then do something different. I'll leave that at that.
Destroy it for me.
And I fell in real life, so I don't need to show a video.
Absolutely. So the competition that we are running this week is to gain a Steam code at the value of £20. It's for Street Fighter 4, an arcade edition. This will go through as a personal message. So please leave your comments in our YouTube channel or in our Facebook page when we are doing this.
Or on Twitter.
The best person will put a bit of a vote within the group, and we'll then pick the best person, and we'll announce that in next week's podcast.
If you want to make it easier for us to decide, please send your videos also.
Yeah, any videos if you've got evidence of attempting these things, or if it is spectacularly funny and just complete and utterly faceplant in the ground, even better.
Okay, your Titan's prepped for launch.
Targets have been marked. Marked teammates have been killed. You killed the marked enemy. I'm searching for the next target. You are marked for death.
You got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
Nice moves.
So apologies for high-pitched screaming. That was episode 4 of season 1, and now it's time for us to sadly say goodbye.
Listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed my awful Xbox gaming. You know, I am gonna get better. I promise I'll practice. Tune in next week for some more geek stuff.
Okay, guys. Thanks for listening again. Had a lot of fun tonight. We'll see you next week.
Cheerio. Have a good weekend.
Excellent, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in this week, and make sure to get your
Like, subscribe, follow.
Oh yeah, just run over the top of me.
And
was gonna
remember, we have a competition.
Yeah, just steal my entire ending.
Don't forget the blog as well, because the blog was pretty popular these past
Jeez,
couple
how many times can I not say goodbye?
No, you can.
Rest in peace, Paul.
I'm just gonna go. Bye.